So as most of you know, I recently got engaged. So I figured you guys can get ready with me while I explain the proposal and like how we met and like our whole cute little story. So it all started in November of 2021, I'm pretty sure. We were like talking in the talking stage, just having a grand old time. And then come January, I think, of 2022, we were talking for about a month, and then through the whole time that we've been talking, he's had a really bad knee pain, okay? Really bad knee pain. And like everyone told him to go to the walk-in, they need to go to the ER, and like if it's hurting really bad that like he should get it figured out, but he's a boy so he didn't do anything about it. And so fast forward to beginning to mid-February, we were FaceTiming because we were still in the talking stage. He ended up telling me in the morning, because we were FaceTiming, that he couldn't walk. And I was like, sir, okay, let's go to the walk-in. You need to get this checked out. This isn't okay. And he agreed. So I lived like 40-ish, 45 minutes away from him at the time. And so I literally drove. They closed at 4. I got my butt up at 2:30, I think, and drove. Got him there like 30 minutes before they closed. And the doctor was like, like they checked him in and stuff. And it was really awkward because the doctor was like, is this your girlfriend? And me and him were like, oh no, like we're just friends. And it was really awkward. Anyways, so the doctor was like poking around at his knee. His knee looked swollen. So swollen. And so Levi's like, I think I like just heard it out at the gym, like I don't really know what happened. And the doctor's like poking at him and he's like winching and like saying, ow, that hurts. And the doctor's like, yeah, you probably just pulled something, it's probably just swollen, but I'll like recommend you to what is it? It's like a bone doctor. I don't know. And so they was like, okay, then we leave and I drop him back off at home. And then a week later, I don't know, a couple days later, they called him and he scheduled an MRI because he's like, ooh, it's a little funny. So he goes for his MRI and then he gets a call back an hour after he gets home from his MRI. And I'm telling him that he needs to come back in and get another scan. And he's like, that's a little funny. And I was like, yeah, that's a little funny. And then this is where it gets crazy. This was on a Friday, so on Monday, did they tell him on Friday? I think on Friday they told him that they were worried because it was a mass and it could potentially be cancerous. So he was freaking out. And then this was on a Friday. Come Monday, we're on FaceTime. We were trying to figure out like what to do, if we wanted to hang out, all of this. And then we're on FaceTime and his doctor calls him. And he's like, hey, my doctor's calling me. And he's like, my doctor's calling me. I have to let you go. And so then he hangs up. I'm panicking because I'm like, oh my gosh, like, why is this doctor calling him? Like, what's happening? I don't know what's happening. And then he calls me crying, saying that the scans came back and it is, I don't know, can they actually tell if it's cancerous in a scan? I don't know. I don't know if they ran tests. I don't really know what happened, but they told him it was cancerous. And so then he calls me back and he's like, hey, so you're not doing anything today? Just bawling. And I'm like, no, I'm on my way right now. And so I go over, we hang out, and he's telling all of his family and all this. It was the end of February at this point. I think it was a leap year. I don't know if it was a leap year. I don't know. But he found out he had cancer. We found out he had cancer. It was great. It was not great, but that's kind of the beginning of our story. And then come March 4th, which is my birthday, me and my friend, and then her fiance, which is Levi's best friend, all hung out for my birthday. And that night, I took him home, and then he asked me to be his girlfriend at 12 a.m. So our anniversary is on March 5th. The reason people are always like, oh, he asked you on your birthday? The thing is, I don't like my birthdays. I don't like my birthdays. So he was like, I want to make your birthday something that you're happy about. And so he was going to ask me on my birthday, but then it turned out to be like 12 o'clock at night, and now our anniversary's on the 5th, which is fine. It's great. So we started dating for a while, and I would come see him at the hospital. He was going through chemo. It was a whole whole like freaking Fault in Our Stars type thing, except I didn't have cancer, he just had cancer. So it was really sad, it was really depressing, but long story short, he's fine, he is in remission, he's great. But we would hang out a lot in the hospital and it was great, it was fantastic, and I loved it. It was fine. I ended up starting working at the hospital, which was nice because when he would stay over in the hospital, I would be able to like go see him on my breaks. So it was fine, it was great. And then fast forward to this year, well actually last year because it's now the new year, fast forward to December of 2024. He actually it was in November. Okay, this is the proposal part, all right? I found out everything about the proposal. Let me explain, okay? So I don't know what day exactly it was, but sometime in November, we were gonna go get food with my parents and then my sister and her kids. And we get in his car and he's on the phone with his dad, which his dad didn't know that I was with him in the car. He didn't know that his phone connected to his car. And so he goes and he's like, so how's that ring you got Juliana going? And he was like, he didn't say anything. And I'm like caught off guard because it didn't register what he said. And so I look at him and I'm like, huh? And he looks at me and he's like, and then it hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, he bought an engagement ring. Because we've talked about it. And like I've told him like, oh, just get a cheap ring. Like that's not something we can afford right now and all of this. And he was like, no, like I'll get a ring probably after the new year, you know, because like Christmas and all of this. So I wasn't expecting him to buy a ring. And so his dad just exposed him. Honestly, I felt really bad. He was so like upset and mad that he knew, but like at the same time he wasn't upset with his dad because like his dad didn't know that I was there. And so he was like so distraught and he was talking to me about it. He was like, yeah, like whenever I went to Fred Meyer and me and my mom went and like I made you a ring, and this is the ring. He made it. There was like a sale where like you can make your own ring, and so him and his mom went and they made my own ring, and I found out and I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And he was like, yeah, but there's not gonna be here for like 4 to 6 weeks. And this was like end of November, and like the 6 weeks landed on Christmas week. And so there was little things that I found out. It was so I love him. Don't get me wrong. I love him, but he cannot keep a secret. And he would tell you that I pushed to hear things out of him, but I tried not to because I wanted it to be a surprise. But I would make little comments. Like he would ask me if I wanted people for our engagement party, and I was like, I mean, yeah, that'd be fun. Like I don't really care about that because I've told him that I wanted like the actual engagement to be like just me and him, but I also wanted a photographer there, so like me, him, and the photographer. And he ended up telling me, he was like, just so you know, like I don't want to hide anything from you, like I have a secret group chat with everybody in it that's gonna come, like do you want to know who's all gonna be there? And I was like, yeah, like I want to mentally prepare. And so he told me, and we have friends that live like 6 hours away from us and they work on Saturdays. And I was like, I made a comment, I was like, that's really weird, like they're gonna have to get here super late. And then this man goes, yeah, that's why I went to ask you on a Sunday after church, so you're all ready to go and blah blah blah. And I'm like, why did you tell me that? Why did you tell me that? Because now I know it's gonna be on a Sunday. So I was like, okay, whatever, I guess I know it's gonna be on a Sunday. And he goes, he's like, actually, well, I think I made a comment, I was like, wow, you're not gonna care about like football that day? Because he's really like into football. He goes, yeah, he's like, let me check my favorite team and what they're playing. I was like, okay. And so then he checks, he's like, oh yeah, he's like, they're not playing until 1 that day, so it's okay. And I was like, okay, I don't know why you would tell me that, but okay. And then I, being my little FBI self, obviously, I googled it. I googled when they played. I found out that the day that he was gonna ask me, they were playing at 1, so the 8th. And then the weekend after, they're playing at 5. And then the weekend after that, they're playing at 1 again, I think. But that was the weekend that we were gonna go to my grandparents' house for Christmas, and he told me that I was gonna be engaged by then, and I was like, it can't be that weekend, like it literally cannot be that weekend because that's after we go. And he told me I was gonna be engaged before that, so I can show it off. So I was like, okay, like that's fine. And then the weekend after that was like Christmas, and they were gonna play at 5, and I was like, okay, so it has to be the 8th. It has to be the 8th. And so I told him was like, yeah. I was like, I did my research, like, I'm really suspicious of you. Also, my blush is way too blushy. I don't know why I put so much of blush that I did. Anyways, so I was like, I'm on to you, like, all this, and he was like, oh, he got so mad, and I was like, I'm sorry, like, I didn't mean to make you mad, but like, I am also a girl, and I look things up, and I'm FBI. FBI should hire me. Anyways, so he ends up kind of just telling me the game plan, and I was like, okay, like, at least I'll know, so like, I'm not expecting, you know, like, I know, I'm aware of what's happening. He's like, I don't know if the ring is gonna be here by then, like, it all just kind of depends. And I was like, okay, like, no worries, you know, like, it's whatever, like, I don't need to know. And one day, it was the Wednesday before, I'm pretty sure it was the Wednesday before, he needed to go get gas, and I was like, okay, that's a little suspicious. It's just a little suspicious. He was like, I'm gonna go get it at Fred Meyer, and I'm like, you're gonna go get it from Fred Meyer. Okay, you're gonna go get gas at Fred Meyer. Whatever. And so then he goes and gets gas, so he tells me, and he comes home, and I was like, oh yeah, how was getting gas? And he's like, it was fine, it was good. I'm like, okay. And so he goes, yeah, I ended up picking up the ring. I'm like, oh, okay. And so then he shows me the box. Like, okay. I was just teasing him. I didn't want to know that he got the ring. And so he just shows me the box. He's like, do you want to see what it looks like? And I was like, no, I do not want to know what it looks like. Do not show me. Please, do not show me. So he didn't end up showing me. And it like brought me more relief because I was like, okay, it is happening this weekend. Like, he ended up asking one of our friends to take our pictures, and it was great and it was lovely. And he was like, there's this one thing that like you don't know about and I'm really excited about. And I was like, okay, cool, perfect, I'm excited. And that day, so on Sunday the 8th, we went to church like usual, and we came home and we got ready, and he was like, oh yeah, like I'm just texting my mom about the setup. And I was like, what do you mean the setup? That makes no sense. Like, what do you mean the setup? He goes, oh yeah, that was a surprise. I have a little setup. And I was like, brother, you literally spoiled everything that you have tried so hard not to tell me about. And I was like, okay, like I'm just gonna let him have it. It's fine. It's literally fine. It doesn't ruin anything. It's still going to be fantastic, and I'm so excited. Like, it's literally fine. Literally fine. And so we ended up taking pictures, and he was like, just beforehand, he was like, just, you know, let me like follow my lead. Like, I have a specific place that I want to take the engagement pictures, like, so like if I say that I want to go somewhere, like, just follow my lead. Like, don't say, oh, I want to go here. And I was like, okay, whatever, fine. Sure, fine. It's your day. You planned it. You get the lead of everything. Fine. Sure. And so we like took pictures as normal. We took our dog out, and we took pictures with her, and it was fun, and it was cutesy. And then I didn't notice, we were walking down the aisles of the orchard, and I didn't notice that there was a setup there. Like, while I was walking, I was looking down because my dog was in front of me and I didn't want to trip over her. And so I was just looking down and I didn't notice. Everybody's like, how did you not notice that? I'm like, I literally was not looking. I literally was not looking. Like, you can see in the video that I literally was looking down until I looked up and I noticed it, and I was like, oh my gosh. Anyways, so then he goes and he gets down on one knee, and he starts asking me, and I start freaking out. I literally forgot how to breathe. I literally forgot how to breathe. And then he asked me, and I said, yes, of course. And the rest is history, I guess. Yeah, that's how he asked me. It was pretty great. So after he asked me, we ended up going and seeing his mom and his like uncle that's not actually his uncle. It's like his mom's best friend, but also our old youth pastor, which is a whole weird thing. Anyways, that's besides the point. Anyways, so we went over and we saw them and we were like talking with them. And we saw people at our house. And so we said hi, we were like chatting and talking, and it was all fun. And then we ended up going after that back to our house. And like, since I already knew that people were gonna be there, like he was like, yeah, you can, like, you don't have to be surprised, it's okay, like you already know. And so like, no point in being fake about it, like just, you know that you know.
Congratulations!
So anyways, yeah, that was kind of the little proposal story. It was really fun. I feel bad that I kind of knew everything, but at the same time I was happy that I kind of knew everything just so I could mentally prepare myself, because I'm kind of a type A. I have like a type A personality, and so I'm happy that I knew what was going on so I could kind of mentally prepare. Yeah, it was good. I had fun. It was the most magical day I could have ever asked for. He did so good, and yeah, I thought it was fantastic. He did so good. I'm so proud of him. He was so worried about it the whole time. I felt so bad. I'm like, no, don't worry, it's gonna be great no matter what happens. Like, it's gonna be fantastic. I also feel like I'm missing a lot of key details, but it's fine. No shot, I just did that. Oh my gosh. It's fine, it's fine. If you guys have any questions about my proposal or wedding planning or any of that, let me know. I feel like I missed a lot of details just because it all happened all at once, and so there's a lot of things that I don't really remember. But if you have any questions, let me know. I would love to answer them. I'm also planning on making like a wedding series of like wedding planning and all of that fun jazz, so stay tuned for that. I'm really excited for that. And voila! That's the finished makeup look for you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. If you have any other video suggestions, please let me know. I am definitely trying to work on my wedding series and trying to plan all my wedding stuff. It's really stressful, so if you have any tips on that, let me know as well. We are also moving out sometime whenever the snow kind of clears, because it's really snowy still. So be on the lookout for that as well. That's gonna be fun. That's another little series I have in my little planner. If you guys have any other suggestions, please let me know. And thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Bye!